Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Vivian. So today's video is all about how to draft a basic bodice pattern for a 3 years old baby girl. I already have a video guys showing all the measurements from 3 months to 12 years, so please go ahead and watch that video. But for this tutorial we are making use of the measurement for a 3 years old baby. You can see all the measurements I have here already drafted out. So yeah, this is my pattern paper. I've already drawn a line across to serve as my shoulder line. Okay, so here on that line I'll be marking out the shoulder measurement, and for this baby the shoulder measurement is 9. I'll be dividing it by 2, that's 4.5, of which I've just marked it. So the next measurement I'm taking here is the neck measurement. So I'm using a neck depth of 2 1/4. Okay, depending on how deep you want the neck to be, you can use 2.5, 2.75. And for the neck width I'm using 2 1/4 as well, of which I just marked it. Then when I'm done, I'm just going to draw a line in form of a square. After drawing that line, you can go ahead and cut it that way if you want the neckline to be in a square shape. But if you don't want, you can place the ruler like this and draw a line if you want it to be a v-neck, or you can just place it like this if you want a round neck. But on this stitching, for this stitching sake, we are using a round neck line, so of which I just curved it. Okay, so I'm just going to use marker to bold the line. So when I'm done with that, from this shoulder point where I marked my shoulder measurement, I'm just going to come down by 1/2 inch to get the shoulder slope. This is because our shoulder is not straight. So when I'm done with that, I'll connect it to the neck line, and after that I'm just going to mark 1/4 inch here and here also for stitching the shoulder, that is sewing allowance for the shoulder, and that's all. So from this side again, I'm going to mark the armhole measurement, the armhole point here, and the armhole point I'm using is 4.25, so I'm just going to mark it here. Okay, after that I'll bring the line down to join that point where I just marked the armhole. Okay, so guys, if you are coming across my channel for the first time, please help me subscribe to my channel and like this video. Okay, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment and subscribe to my channel. So after bringing the line down, I'm just going to draw a line across, and this line I'm drawing is going to serve as our chest line. Just like an adult, your bust point and your chest line, so we are going to be marking the chest or bust point there. So now after that, from the shoulder line as well, I'm going to come down to the waist point, and the waist line I'm making use of here is 8.75, of which I just marked it. And then after that I'll go ahead and draw a line across, and this line I'll be marking it as my waist line. So that's all for the horizontal measurement. So we'll go ahead and take the circumference. Okay, so on that chest line I'm going to be putting the chest circumference measurement. So the chest measurement I'm using here is 22/4. That will give me 5.5. that's what I just marked, and then 1 inch sewing allowance. So on the waistline as well, I'm going to be putting the circumference of the waist, and the waist measurement I'm using there is 20.5. so I just divide the 20.5 by 4 will give me 5.125. so I'm just going to be putting the measurement there like I'm doing so, and then 1 inch sewing allowance. Okay, so on back to this armhole, from that shoulder slope I'm going to be taking the measurement here to know what I have, exactly what I have. After that I'm going to divide whatever I have by 2. So I'm trying to get the midpoint. So after that I'll place it there, and I'm going to mark the midpoint there. I'm going to chalk it. Okay, when I'm done from that midpoint, now I'll be coming in by 1/2 inch from that midpoint. Okay, just like I'm doing so. So when I'm done, I'm going to connect the point, that midpoint. I'm going to connect it from this shoulder line back to this chest point, and that's all. So I'm just going to connect these two lines together, and that's basically all for the front pattern. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. Please guys, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and drop a comment. Thank you. So that's basically all for the drafting of the front pattern. Okay, it's as simple as that. So this is what we have. So I'll now go ahead and draft the back pattern. So for my back, I already drew a line as usual for my shoulder, and here I have the zipper allowance, and the space is about 1 inch. So I'll be taking all my measurements from that zipper allowance line. You can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to mark the shoulder line like I did before. After that, I'll mark the neck width. The neck width is 2 1/4 like I used for the front side. Then for the back side, I'll be using 1 inch as my neck depth. Okay, and after that, I'm just going to go ahead and curve it. There's no much difference between the front pattern and the back pattern. It's just a little changes. Okay, so from here I'll come down by 1/2 inch for shoulder slope, and then I'll go ahead and curve it just like I did when I was drafting the front side. I'll also add sewing allowance for the shoulder like I'm doing so. Then I'll go ahead and curve it as well. So the next measurement is to mark the waist point like I'm doing so. So after that, the next measurement I'll be putting is to mark the armhole measurement, and the armhole measurement I'm working with is 4.25, and I just marked it, and then I'll go ahead and draw a line across. So the next thing I'll do is to bring this line down to the chest line. So here at the back side, there's no need of determining the center point. Okay, so now the next thing I'll do is to input the circumference measurements. So for the chest line, I've gone ahead to input the measurements, and also the waistline, I'll go ahead and input the measurement as well, and then I'll add 1 inch sewing allowance, and on the chest line 1 inch sewing allowance as well. So I'm just going to bring this line down this way. I'll use marker so it will be bold enough. So on this armhole side, I'm just going to curve it. So here I'm not curving it in like the front pattern, I'm just curving it outside. So here you can see what I have. The difference is just the armhole. Okay, and then the zipper allowance. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So guys, that's basically all for drafting of the basic bodice pattern for a baby's dress. Here I have my front pattern and I have my back pattern. So if you watched to this end, thank you very much, and thank you for sticking around. Please help me like this video. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, turn on your notification button so whenever I post videos you will get notified. See you next time when I post another video. Thank you. Bye.